401k, we'll cash it in someday when the radio DJ plays that song all night long that I wrote about you. The daily grind's work the higher side, points away from paradise. I'm not about to clock in without no cash in night. Like an inside tip at the Triple Crown, I'm your dark horse, your ticket uptown. I'm 401k, we'll cash it in someday when the radio DJ plays that song I wrote about you. Yeah, your 401k, we'll be rolling in the good. Hey, boots on the beach, yeah, dancing to the song all night long that I wrote about you. Like the winning numbers in the lottery, I'm Powerball, your money tree. I'm 401k, we'll cash it in someday when the radio DJ plays that song I wrote about you. Yeah, your 401k, we'll be rolling in the good. Hey, boots on the beach, yeah, dancing to the song all night long that I wrote about you. That I wrote about you. I'm in 401k, yeah, yeah, yeah.
everybody doing out there in the music world? This is Corey, flying solo tonight. Frank Arena had some things come up. We almost didn't get to go live. Had some internet problems. The wind today in Kansas City is absolutely crazy. So, to get the show started, I think it's only appropriate that I have a beer. Courtesy of my buddy Jake from Mechanized. He's hanging in the background. Also, another fellow musician, Kevin Copel, is in the house, hanging out, just doing his thing, playing on his phone. And Miss C's here too, Christina Cook, and she'll probably be jumping on the air with me here in a little bit. So, really quick, if you're in the chat room, just want to do a quick mic check. Can everybody hear everything okay? Give me a thumbs up. Otherwise, we're going to keep things moving here. Broadcasting live from the Slam Studios here, Marion, Kansas, in the bowels of Aftershock. Aftershock live music venue, Kansas City's home of local music. So, anyway, it's been a busy week. Everybody's been preoccupied with politics and, got everything going on with Super Tuesday. Is that what they call it? For me, it'll always be Taco Tuesday, but, Super Tuesday. I paid a little bit of attention to what was going on just because I think it's in the best interest of everybody to kind of stay up on politics, although it's kind of like politics is like unsafe sex right now for a lot of people. You definitely want to protect yourself. You want to engage because you should engage, but you want to have that fine barrier between you and everything just because it's become a messy situation, and it's just so everyone's so sensitive. We live in sensitive times, so I watch, but I try not to get sucked in, especially to the drama side of everything. I have my views, my political views. I kind of keep them to myself these days, but been paying attention, and and I know Frank, he's listening at home, and he's like, Corey, we have a rule, no politics. So that's all I'm going to say is hopefully everybody paid attention and did their part, and anyhow. But other than that, what else is going on? Everybody's like ready to catch this coronavirus. Everybody's got their opinion on it. Some people are like, it's a hoax. Other people are, stocking up on Purell and doing everything that they can to make sure that they don't get it. So, what's up, Rick, Allen, Dottie, just saying some hello to people. Old Man, New Game, Jeff Doling, a lot of people, Dottie, Allen, a lot of people jumping into the chat room, and it's always nice to have you guys jump in and engage, So what I can tell you is rolling in tonight, it was a little bit of a surprise for me that I'd be flying solo, so it's kind of weird to not have Frank to bounce things off of, but I'm looking forward to getting Jake from Mechanized on the mic here in just a bit, and we'll be bouncing some things off of his brain. I know that he's got a lot of things that he wants to talk about. He's been busy behind the scenes, and he's going to let you know what Mechanized has been up to. If you, hopefully, I would assume that most people are familiar with Mechanized. They were that band that were like in their prime, blowing things up, and then just disappeared. Now, you'll figure out why tonight. Everything will be revealed. You've been asking why, where, how, what's up with Mechanized? Why did these fine young men just disappear when everything was going well for them? Sounds like a X-Files episode. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we will find out that these guys were abducted. Maybe Jake has been living on a spaceship for the last several months, and the Jake that we've all been seeing here and there was just a clone. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's what he's going to bring us up to speed with. Jeff, I'm sure Jake says hi right back to everybody. So you get once he jumps up here, you guys can run some questions by him, talk to him. He'll answer those. Also, if there's something you guys want to talk about, feel free to jump in the chat room and, steer me in a direction that you want this radio show to go. That's kind of what it's all about. That's what Slam has always been about supporting local artists and musicians. I'm just here to man the ship, do what I can to facilitate your guys' thoughts, your art, your music. We'll be playing some local music tonight between breaks. We're going to be dropping a premiere on you guys from a secret band. It's not mechanized. Maybe it is. Maybe you've already heard it. Maybe you haven't. But you will tonight, that's for sure. We got that queued up and ready to go. Lots of other things. We're going to have fun tonight. It's Thursday night in Kansas City. We're going to talk music. We're going to talk what's going on this weekend. And so stick around. We're going to go to break really quick. We got a new producer in the house tonight. Joe. We'll just call him Joe. We're going to give him a new name soon. Something that is majestic, like Majestic Joe or something. We'll figure it out. If you got a name for the new producer here, throw it into the chat room, and we'll go from there. Otherwise, Joe, you're going to be put to the test. Let's go to our first break. When we come back, we'll have Jake from Mechanized join us. Thanks for tuning in to Slam Radio.
Remember me always, or just forget me. What happened to forever? Tell me who you're to say, who really is to blame. 'Cause I don't mind to put my finger right in your direction. It's nothing left on MIA. How could you walk away? Run away, so give and take. You said that you would pick me up when I was down, but where were you when I fell to the ground? What happened to remember me for always and forget me not, forget me not. How could you forget me? Can't be that easy. Oh, am I just going crazy? There are no excuses, just tell me the truth, 'cause I'm sick of playing these games. Since when did you give up? You're not the type I know, you better know. You need this love. I know you do, so please remember. You said that you would pick me up when I was down, but where were you when I fell to the ground? What happened to remember me for always and forget me not, forget me, kill me with your words and all the lies you told. Haven't you heard? Actions speak louder, so what happened to remember me for always and forget me not, forget me not. You can't keep me going on one little lie. Can't keep on planning to go on if you die. Feels never new love should be my new high. So forget me not. You said that you would pick me up when I was down, but where were you when I fell to the ground? What happened to remember me for always and forget me not, forget me. You said that you would pick me up when I was down, but where were you when I fell to the ground? What happened to remember me for always and forget me not, forget me, kill me with your words and all the lies you told. Haven't you heard? Actions speak louder, so what happened to remember me for always and forget me not, forget me not. Remember me always, or just forget me. What happened to forever?
His breaths were shallow and brief. The air taken from his lungs, just like a thief. If only the grim on his heart would cease, and the silence would mean the world too late, too late, the world too
All right, welcome back. Cauldron Point and Red Velvet Crush. A couple Red Velvet Crush, featured Jillian Risco. She's still doing her thing, but no longer Red Velvet Crush unless she decides to revisit that. And then you heard Cauldron Point, both some great local music. I know everybody is wondering, is the banana on The Masked Singer Bret Michaels from Poison? Do you care? Do I care? But my sources say yes. There's your spoiler. If you're someone that tunes into The Masked Singer, I'm letting it out of the bag. The banana is Bret Michaels. But that's not why you tuned in tonight, right? You tuned in tonight. Some of you are waiting, and you've been patiently waiting for Jake Burge. So let's bring him onto camera. Jake, put your clothes on really quick. All right. So here we are. What do you think? You probably haven't been in the studio or in the office since we converted it into the studio.
Yeah, I haven't been here in probably 3 or 4 months at least. I haven't seen this table you got's pretty sweet though.
It's right on. I think it looks respectable in here, and it smells respectable in here now. So
Got the good incense going.
got some good incense and fresh paint on the walls and new microphones, and just everything's new. Everything's new and shiny. So speaking of new and shiny, you guys just disappeared. I mean, you didn't disappear. You've been in touch with me. You're on Facebook. You're around. But Mechanized just disappeared. What? How long has it been?
We haven't played a show since about August. We haven't played a Kansas City show since that Summer Slaughter showcase that we did in July here.
Oh, it's been that long?
Yeah, it's been that long. And, we just pretty much needed a break more than anything. We needed to find the fun being in a band again because we were kind of overbooking ourselves, and it was kind of like a second job.
Well, along with music, it comes a lifestyle too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
When you're playing music, whether it's in the rehearsal studio or at a gig, it's a lifestyle, and and you guys were going hard, but you can't achieve a lot of the times. You can't achieve that kind of success like you guys had without going hard. Even the partying aside, you guys, you guys were cranking it out and busting ass, and so Pat Jonas from 1,000 Years Wide says he's watching from his new music store in St. Joe and says Mechanized rules the hardcore scene, period. So he's laying down the law. So yeah, I knew what was up, Jake. You had confided in me what was going on, and it was something like we just got done talking about, like, one of the things that, and I mentioned Jeff Doling from Burn the Gates, and I know he can relate to this, is that, and I see it with bands, is you guys bust your butts and you work hard to get to that point to where you're drawing. You're bringing in the crowds, but then every promoter, those evil bastards, and every venue and every local band now, they see that. They see, man, this band is like going hard. Now, all those people, the promoters, the venues, and the bands are calling you, wanting to say, hey, you want to do a show? And I know that's got to put you on the spot, because you get to a point where you recognize and you know that you can't overdo it. You can't oversaturate yourself, or you're going to burn yourself out with the bands. But at the same time, a lot of these people are your peers and your buddies, so you hate to say no. So, I kind of have, did that come into play with kind of going underground a little bit?
Yeah, we just needed to have a quiet time. We definitely love playing shows and stuff like that. And what we've been doing behind the scenes, and a lot of people don't know, is, we're just, getting back to mentally wanting to do it again. Because when we were last year and the year before, we were probably playing like 45 shows a year, which is insane for a local band to be doing. And
it's breaking all the rules.
Breaking all the rules, man. And we just got, just worn out. That's pretty much how it was. And we do miss our friends in the music scene, and we don't miss the ones that we hate, that's for sure. And that was one of the contributing factors why we didn't even want to be here anymore.
Right. Well, and I think a lot of people, like Rick Allen is in the room, and he's been playing music forever, and I'm sure he can relate. And same with like Jeff Doling. I grew up around all my uncles were musicians, and growing up, I would see them again, gone on the weekends, going. It was the 70s, the 80s, and they would do the same thing, and it was kind of a joke in the family, because every so often they'd quit. They'd be like, I'm done.
Right.
I'm out of here, and they'd sell their equipment. But we all knew 6 months later they'd get that itch, and they were buying equipment and jumping back in.
Corey. I've probably quit Mechanized about 20 times.
Right.
And I just keep coming back.
Well, you got to, and you know what? I got news for you, man. You're young. Get used to it. You're going to keep coming back, even when you try to walk away. You won't be able to. But that's the difference between people who do music and art for the wrong reasons versus people that do music and art for the right reasons. It's a part of your DNA.
I don't know. You guys all know me, man. I freak out over the littlest things. You know what I mean? My patience level is nothing. And, when I get, fed up with the band stuff and I sit at home and I'm sitting there thinking, most of the time it's a drunk thing that I do. I'll be mad, drunk.
Right.
And I wake up the next day, I'm like, those are my boys. I can't leave those guys.
No, and, you always got to let things rest at night. Everything.
Sleep on it.
You always got to sleep on it. Right, Jonas? Got to sleep on it. Everything is in a different light when the sun comes up. But that's fine. I don't think, you got to make excuses for it, man. When you live by the flame, it's going to get hot. And every now and then you got to pull back and gather your senses. But you'll never, I guarantee you, Jake, this is what you were born to do. And you'll always be doing it in some capacity.
And which is weird because I'm from a town of like 8,000 people. So like a metalhead from there, Atchison, Kansas. It's just kind of crazy how I moved here because my wife, I was doing a lot of bad stuff there.
Right.
And she wanted me to get clean and get off the stuff I was doing and move down here. And I just can't believe that I'm in a band in Kansas City actually doing this.
Yeah, and there is something humbling about it. And to come from a small town and come to a city that's how many times bigger?
Oh, insane.
You probably, when you first moved here, just thought you were going to be, just another face in the crowd. Maybe that's what you wanted. But then to be a part of something and to become a major player
the thing is, my buddy Chance Morris, the reason why I ever wanted to be a part of the Kansas City music scene is I was like 7th or 8th grade. And it was when the Leo Project was real big.
Right on.
And the Beaumont Club was popping and all that,
Right.
And we came from Atchison, Kansas because he was related to the lead singer and the drummer at the time. And we went to the Beaumont and saw them, and I was like, one day I'm going to do that.
You're like, and that's awesome that it was local music that inspired you.
Yeah, it was
like
Leo
that.
Project. It was.
And I think that's cool, man. I hope that gets back to Tyler and those guys. That's very humbling. Yeah, so you're from Elwood.
Atchison.
Yeah. That's right. I knew that. Now, Earshot. You ever heard of them? You've never heard of Earshot?
No, the only one I've heard of from Atchison's Trooper Wednesday.
No, I'm talking a band called Earshot that made it big.
Nah.
You've never heard of Earshot?
Nah. Have you?
Mm-mm. Google Earshot. And you are going to be amazed. You're going to go, I didn't even know that. You were thinking that it was just you and Melissa Etheridge. No, sorry. She's from Leavenworth, right?
I don't know.
Same damn corner of the world, right? I think between Elwood, Atchison, and Leavenworth, it's all the same corner of the world, right?
It's all around the bite of Kansas.
Yeah, see, Earshot rocks. Earshot kicks butt. Yeah,
I'll have to check him out.
Yeah, what it was the lead singer was actually from Atchison, and I think the story was moved off to L.A.
What kind of genre were they?
Oh, I would say radio rock.
That's cool.
Anyone listening, would you agree? Earshot was kind of, just nice, friendly, straightforward. I hear Jeremy over here whispering in my ear, butt rock, but Jeremy Hilton has dropped by since the last segment. Jeremy snuck in here, and so I could hear him whispering in my ear. But no, Earshot played here a couple times, and great band, and it's just always neat to see bands, especially from a small town like that,
where were they
have
from?
Success. Your hometown, Atchison.
Really?
The singer was who started it. Yeah.
What's his name?
Boy, you're all right. Google this, boy, fellas in here. Earshot.
I got this.
I got to know this.
Yeah, it is. It's it's pretty cool. So, but anyway, all right. So, going hardcore, decided it was time to pull back, step out. But you didn't really quit playing music. You just kind of got away from
the scene,
the business side of things, which I think it's very important to know that those are two different things.
Right.
One of the things I said last week was that you know, what defines a musician. And has nothing to do with the business side. It has nothing to do with being out and playing music. You know, you could disappear forever and never play a live gig, just write music, play it on your front porch to the squirrels, and that doesn't mean you're any less a musician than the guys out there
For sure.
searching for fortune and fame. You know, it's just whatever floats your boat and whatever makes you happy. So, you pulled back. Did you already have songs, or did you start writing?
When we quit?
Yeah.
No.
So when you guys left, you knew you wanted to.
We were thinking about an EP the whole time. We went a month without even seeing each other. The second month, we went over to our buddy Nick's house, and we just slapped a song together.
Right on.
And then, which is the one you know we might play here in a minute, but then it just kept going from there. So we pretty much have a whole EP ready to go that
Right
nobody's
on.
ever heard.
Hey Rick, hopefully Rick, tune in on the Twitch platform and see how that works out for you, buddy. You know, we're all over the place on all these different platforms, and they all kind of react and respond a little bit differently. We recommend Twitch just because they aren't censoring the music out. All these other platforms, for some reason, take the music out because they say we don't have the rights, even though it's local music and we have the rights to it. So we always suggest Twitch. Also, if hopefully everything is sounding good on your end. We had, with all the wind here in Kansas City today, we had some problems with the internet here, but hopefully we got it all fixed. So, sorry, Jake, needed to address something
No, you're good,
in
dude.
the room here. Yeah, so you got some new music. Now, who handles the writing of the music in the band? Is it a group effort? Is it just one or two people?
Chris and Dirk pretty much put the core together. Bobby, the most barbecue dad looking dude, my bad. Most barbecue looking guy on the planet. He'll come in after the song is structured instrumentally and then come in and just start soloing over it.
Right.
And throwing all of his leads on it and stuff like that. And then I go in last, but pretty much Chris and Dirk pretty much write all the music, like instrumentally.
And then you pretty much
I
handle the
ruin
lyrics.
it. I go in and ruin it.
You go in and offend people.
Yeah. Which this song that we're about to, you're about to play, it's a pretty dark song. I don't know if you ever heard of the Chris Watts from Denver, Colorado,
Right.
that killed his family and stuff like
Right.
that. This is what the song is about. It's called Vile Protector, and that's pretty much what I wrote it for that.
Right on. Well, I love always to hear the backstory. I've entertained the idea of, we already do an acoustic night, but I would love to be able, just because I'm a music geek, I love those kind of backstories on albums and songs. I think it would be neat to kind of like, I'm so old. I was going to say, does anyone remember like Pop-Up Video?
I don't think so.
Pop-up video.
Right. It was like a video show, and it would play the videos, and then there would just be these little pop-up bits of like random, stupid information, and I would love for bands to have a night down here where bands, it was real laid back, but, bands were able to give the backstory behind songs, play them and then give the backstory, maybe answer questions, but
Absolutely.
I realize not everybody's as hardcore as me like that, but I'd like to think it would work. So, you have an announcement.
We do have an announcement. May 23rd here at Aftershock, Mechanized is coming back to play a local show. It's with our buddies in Burn the Gates, Gravelord, Dreams in Peril, and Into Existence.
Boy, that's going to pack this place out.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good show, and those are all of our homies. So we're just gonna have a good time with their friends.
Well, there go the rest of the ceiling fans in Aftershock, right? I think
Rip the Aftershock ceiling fans.
I think we got 2 left. We started off with probably 7 or 8, and I think there's 2 left. But this could be the show that like completely makes Aftershock.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Makes Aftershocks ceiling fan free. It's going to be a rager.
So it is on Memorial Day weekend, which, whatever, and it's during Rocklahoma. But if you ain't got the money to go to that, just come check us out. We'll throw a party for you.
I think you're going to pack it, and that was one of the things that Jake was. That's why I like Jake is, he's confident. Once we had, believe it or not, I've known what's up with Mechanized this whole time, and we've had this show on the books for a long time.
Yeah.
And it was only not that long ago that I realized, holy shit, that's like Memorial Day weekend. Mm-hmm. I hit him up, and I'm like, dude, that's Memorial Day weekend. We might want to, reschedule. And he's like, what does that mean? And I'm like, what do you mean? Memorial Day weekend? He's like, yeah, so. And I'm like, well, a lot of people go to the lake, and so it could affect the turnout. And he's like, nah, let's roll with it. So it was like, that didn't scare him. And, I don't think it'll affect the turnout either.
Us dirty metalheads like to party more than go to the lake.
And that's what I told the venue when the venue hit me up and said, hey, are you aware that that's the kickoff for Memorial? It might affect the draw. And all I was like, no, it's not. Well, you better check. I was like, you don't go to the lake and see metalheads skiing and, and fishing. It's like, I told him, no, I'll run it by Jake, but I don't see the lake weekend affecting the local metal show.
What?
It's like the third one you pulled out. How many do you have?
Well, don't you know Jake is an alcoholic?
I know. I was like, it just kept coming.
I feel normal when I get a little buzz.
That's fair. I do too.
No, it's all good. Jake hit me up on the way, and he was like, you have a fridge there? And I'm like, no. He's like, so should I bring a cooler? And I'm like, dude, I think you're going to be all right. It's going to be about a 20 to 30 minute segment, But I have to be nervous. When I hit Jake up and said the other day, hey, you want to come on Slam and make this announcement, talk about the new music, the new show, and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. I was like, afterwards, I was like, man, I better tell my wife I may not be home that night. It's going to turn into one of those nights. And it still could. But, we're trying to keep it all civil here. So, Jake.
Sup?
All right, so what do you think the most important lesson as a guy leaving a small town, coming to the city, and jumping into a rock and roll band, finding success, living the lifestyle, what do you think the most important lesson it is that you've learned?
Don't talk politics on social media.
That's kind of calmed down, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's kind of calmed down.
I don't know if you guys remember, man, right when Mechanized first came out, man, they tried to cancel us quick because I went on Facebook and said a joke that wasn't funny to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it.
Well, you know what? Joe Deucer is he's young, but I think everybody else sitting in this room knows what it's like to have our asses handed to us by, I don't know, I'll be nice, but yeah,
you're doing a good job.
If you haven't had your ass handed to you on social media, well then
you're doing something wrong.
You're doing something wrong. You're really not engaged, and so. But that seems to have cooled off.
Yeah.
I
learned my lesson from it, man. I just kind of, I'm a neutral guy.
But
now.
you didn't.
Chill.
They didn't. Those types didn't win.
No. I think they thought they did when we quit.
I think if you think about it, a lot of those guys are just.
Here's the thing.
Not around anymore.
Here's the thing, man. I've been in the scene since 2013. I moved here at the end of 2012. This scene was amazing. Everybody got along until 2015. And then this stuff on Facebook and stuff started ruining the music industry. Mm-hmm. And it made it not fun for a long time. And then it started getting a little bit better by the time we, called it quits. Like last year, everybody was getting along again.
Yeah. I think everybody just got thick-skinned. I think everybody decided...
Well, it's one person that makes the problem.
Right.
And you just got to tell them to shut up.
Well, and
I wish people would just do that. I have,
and I think
but I'm the only one, you know.
Well, and one of the things that Frank Arena has always worked in PR, and he would, when I would get all crazy about, oh man, you know, you can't say that or can't do that, it's going to upset people, Facebook's going to blow up, light up. He'd always tell me, you know, yeah, but Corey, look at it, whatever is like, you know, red today, the hot topic, whoever it is that everybody's bashing today, 2 days later, they've already forgot about it and moved on. And moved on to the next victim.
That's why when I made that song with those people a couple years ago, that's why I didn't reply to any of it.
Right, you just laid low.
I didn't say anything.
You know,
because I knew after a week it would just be old news.
Right, but you know what? I don't even think
it was fun,
and I don't even think about that anymore. That kind of stuff. I'm glad that it's done and it's over. But sadly, it did ruin a lot of things. It turned fans off. A lot of that from that scene. A lot of fans just quit coming out.
It just kind of killed the metal scene.
The whole, it did.
Yeah.
You know, it really did. A certain, you know, metal's got so many different subgenres, but it did kill, in my opinion, a certain genre of metal. Now, of course, to say all metal is would not be the truth, but it did kind of kill the scene. It did. And it really did.
But it's you know how we were talking last year when we played the battle for the Summer Slaughter.
Yeah.
How many people showed up to that?
A lot. And it was intense.
And it was just local people battling for a show.
And you know what? Even though I hate the word battle, even though it was a showcase.
It was, you know.
I know, Jason. Whatever. Call it whatever you want. It was a battle. But the camaraderie was awesome.
It was a fun night. There was even a good show in here, too.
Yeah, all the bands.
But I just remember being on stage when we played when it was like 100 degrees outside.
It was insane.
It was... there was probably a couple hundred people out there on the patio.
And killing it, man. And all the bands, even though they were sweating their asses off, every band brought it, man.
Dude, you know, we came in a little cocky.
Right.
We did. We were like, oh, we're going to win.
We're good.
But then when I saw the other bands play, I was like, hey.
Everyone has a pretty good chance of winning.
Like Fear My Name killed it. Dreams of Peril murdered it. That was the first show at Mike, I think.
Oh, dude, you know what?
And then, did Burn the Gates play that?
I don't know if I don't think Burn the Gates played that one.
There was another band there that just completely...
For the most part, the whole night was just killer. I remember Nate from Fear My Name.
He busted his...
Raging, I thought he did it on purpose. I thought like he...
It looked cool in pictures.
Yeah, but what it was like Raging, he like hit himself in the face accidentally with his microphone, so blood was everywhere. And
the whole stage just had blood drops everywhere.
And you could tell the look on his face; he was in pain, but it was so.
He still continued like a metal man.
It was so cool. Yeah, it was so cool.
He did good.
Yeah, no, who doesn't like a little bit of blood?
But yeah, that night, man, it was just a cool night for the Kansas City scene.
And you guys ended up winning.
Yeah, we won it.
And you went to
which I did not think we were going to. After
went to
that
Dallas.
Night. Dallas, yeah.
And
went to play the Gas Monkey, which was really sick. And then the people that were running it, they're real cool. We got to watch all the bands from Backstage, right there, you know. And we got to watch Carnifex from Backstage, it was insane because I don't know if you've ever been to a Texas metal show.
No.
Insane.
They rage.
Yeah. And I got to meet Bad Omens that night, and we got drunk.
No kidding.
Yeah.
See, I'm glad that I'm
because they were drinking White Claws and stuff that were sponsoring them.
Trulies too.
Yeah, and they were drinking all this stuff that was sponsoring the events. And I went up to Noah, the vocalist, and I was like, "Hey man, you want a beer?" He's like, "What do you got?" I was like, "Budweiser." He goes, "Please, give me a beer." And I was like, "Dude, I got 2 30 packs in the van," and me, him, and the bass player, drunk. I kind of wish I remember the conversations we had because we hung out for a couple hours.
Right on. Hey, Rick, can everybody hear all the mics all good? Between me and Jake, everybody's all good? All right. Let us know. Frank, I know you're listening in. I know that's unprofessional of me to stop and ask you guys, but you know what? We don't have to follow any rules here. We're not...
Trial and error, man.
We're not FM radio, right? So what do you think, Jake? I've always went back and forth on those kind of showcases, if you will, where, you know, bands battle it out and I've done that battle for Summer Slaughter, I think, 3 times. And everybody seems to have a good time. The winners go and they get treated well and they have a good time and they get to play an awesome show in front of a big market. And so, what do you think? You think you ever see yourself doing anything like that again, or are you kind of
we probably won't do it this year if
Right
you
on.
decide to do it again. I don't necessarily believe that the winner should play again. That's
Right.
just my opinion. I think somebody else should earn the spot to go do it so they can live their
Right.
dream of doing it.
Well, you're in good company. Like the Summer Slaughter winners, the 3 winners that I've done were you guys, Dreams in Pearl, and I'm gonna hate myself. What is the
For Myth and Legend won.
from Myth and Legend won,
And Numerals.
and then numeral. Yeah,
For
those
Myth
are
and
different.
Legend, they won
They
the
were
South by
first.
Southwest, though.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And then Numerals won the Summer Slaughter Showcase the first time.
yeah,
then
with
what
Black
about-
Dahlia, which is insane.
And then the other band, the season band, 42. No, not they're called. They were the band that played last year and won it. 24. It's
Oh, 34.
Yeah,
34.
34.
34, yeah, they won it.
Yeah.
But that was for whatever.
Was that one for? No, they were. It was a Summer Slaughter. I
Was
think
it?
you're confusing one of the other bands. It was for South
What was that? What was it?
Southwest.
What was the All-Star?
Oh,
What was
Oh, it was supposed to be for All Star, but it ended up being Summer Slaughter.
right.
Really?
And I
Yeah.
think, because they ended up canceling that tour that year. But I've been in talks with some of the same people that helped me present that battle for Summer Slaughter about doing and that just doesn't happen here in Kansas City. It happens everywhere. But doing one for Knotfest, and how badass
That would be
that
badass. That would be
Yeah.
a really good one because the thing with Knotfest, it's not all deathcore and death metal.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that could kind of open up a door for a hard rock band to go in there and kill it.
And playing that big of a crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the Knotfest crowd would be ridiculous.
Wouldn't that be insane?
So, like the Dallas show that we did play, I think that venue held it to like 3,500 people, and it was all the way full.
Was that the biggest show to date that you guys have played?
No.
No. What one's the biggest?
Crowd-wise, Born of Osiris here.
Oh, right on. Yeah, that was a good one.
We played very early, and the thing that was, me being Jake, getting mad, they opened up the doors 5 minutes before we played.
Right, I remember that.
So we didn't get it playing. We got it playing probably by towards like mid-set, probably 300 people.
I think the last
If
couple.
that,
the,
you know what I mean?
No, the last couple of years, I've been. A lot. The business has kind of changed, and that's why I'm a little bit disgruntled right now as a promoter, and kind of going to be very select at the national acts that I do book because it didn't always used to be like this, but man, anymore, I don't like tour managers that come in here and be like, hey, you need to cut your local to a 15-minute set. It's like, no. No. They're not going to play a 15-minute set. Or
No.
what? The one I really like that gets my blood boiling. Show's supposed to start at 6. Tour manager comes in and be like, hey, we need to start the show at 5:30. Tell your local to be ready. And I'm like, no. That's not how it works, man.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You got the show that is supposed
Yeah.
it's been like promoted at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, this local busted their ass to be a part of this show.
That happened to our good friends.
Yeah.
They opened up for Night Murder and Cannibal Corpse at the Truman, and they played like right when doors open, when there was supposed to be a 30-minute back. Like they were supposed to open doors in 30 minutes, and they played. Then they played right when they opened.
Well,
so I missed their whole set.
Right, because what's going on now is, I'm not joking you, and Jeremy knows this, is that the headliners want to come in now, and they want to play by 9:30. They don't even care, even if it's a Friday or a Saturday. They want to be. It's like, what?
Born of Osiris.
Yeah, I know that you got to get on down the road.
They're nightmares. That's what messed up the Summer Slaughter show. Was them.
It's like, it's like,
Shout
dude,
out.
Come
Don't even
on,
care.
man. I know you got a long road trip ahead of you. I sympathize with you, but man, this is rock and roll. You jumped into the world of rock and roll. You're not like,
Got to go to bed by 10.
Yeah, you got to be in bed by 10. No, man, that don't swing. And anymore. The owner of Aftershock just said, Corey, it can't happen anymore. A weekday's one thing, but man, the headliner going on
At 10 o'clock on a weekend?
On 10 o'clock on a Friday or Saturday, and then the show's over by 11, and we're dark. We're done, and closing the doors at midnight isn't working anymore. You know, it's like, yeah. So figure it out, man. If you want to be in bed and asleep by 10, then you need to like just stay home and get a real job down at the wherever, like all of us. But man, if you're blessed to be out,
go to your local
playing
Tanners.
music,
Let's put it that way.
Just suck it up, man. Don't. It's just
go to Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, it's like Rick Allen says. Remember your roots. And that's true. And so many times, when you start throwing around the words like national, regional, and local. I mean, those are just words, right? Those are really just words,
Yeah.
I've so many times sat back and watched the band from Kansas City slaughter the touring act who's getting a big paycheck and moving on down the road in a
Didn't
big,
that happen
nice...
with us in King 810?
Remember
that nightmare?
Yeah.
Did you work door that night?
I don't remember.
It was forever ago. I think it was like 2017.
Yeah, that's called a lot of the times.
Remember that was the night that drunk Jake.
Right.
The sound guy was like, "Hey, that was 30 minutes." I was like, "Dude, I only played like 4 damn songs. What are you talking about?"
Right. They weren't even the extended versions. Got to go out this door, my man.
That, and then so King 810 when they were like, "See you later, Kevin. I love you." They were like, "Oh, we're hardcore. We're from Flint." A fight breaks out in their crowd and they quit playing.
They're done. That's how hardcore is that?
Yeah. Those guys, I hope you never book them again, man.
I've had
what a
chance.
waste of time.
Yeah, I've had the chance. The deal is this late in my career, I want to have fun with however much time I have left. I just want to have fun.
Exactly, and that's what I tell my wife. Like sometimes she gets mad at me for being so crazy, but I live my life like it's my last day. You know what I mean?
And
you never know when it's gonna be,
dude. And you should, Jake, man. Trust me, I'm pushing. Well, I'll leave that up to in the air on how old Corey's getting to be. 32. But 32.
Yeah, you're 32,
right.
man.
Someone said 32.
Looking pretty good.
But it is the truth, man. You know when I'm the happiest. You want to see me when I'm the happiest doing Stratgeezer? Come out to the Voodoo Lounge tomorrow. And it's not necessarily when it's at the Voodoo. It could be here at Aftershock. But when there's 5, good bands, and it's the kind of lineup that brings out everybody from the music scene. I call it like a family reunion. And you got good music on the stage, and you got people that you haven't seen for a while, and everybody's mingling and catching up and having drinks. Man, that's when I'm sitting back like old grandpa at the fan reunion going, yep, this is what it's all about. And, I got to admit, Jake and Jeremy, a few years ago when I got into this, and it was just strictly local music, I got the notion in my head that, I would never be a real promoter until I turned that corner and started booking national acts. Mm-hmm. But, for me, that's kind of like with you as a musician, when you took playing music out of the garage or the basement,
right,
booked the gig, it was like that's when it took a turn for me. Mm-hmm. Like, it was no longer just about it wasn't just about having a good time. And
do you remember Mechanizer's first show, man?
Mushroom Head?
It was dope.
Oh, you guys were on the Dope Show?
Yeah, it was 2016.
That was a good one, too.
Dude, thinking about Mechanized being 4 years old is insane. Because it went by quick. And I remember we were the first band to play that night because we didn't get a chance to sell tickets because we got put on like 2 weeks before it happened.
Right.
And it kind of, I think it's sold out before we even got tickets. So we were the first band to play.
Right.
Okay.
Second stage or main stage?
Second.
Right on.
Right here on the little stage.
Right.
And when we played, there was probably like 400 people just packed in that little area. You know what I mean? Just shoulder to shoulder. And I looked at my guy, I was like, dude, this is our first show. This is pretty lit.
Hey, that was what, Dope?
It was supposed to be Flaw, but they cancel like every time.
Yeah,
and then
time.
There was the people with the face paint.
Motograder.
Yeah.
But the Dope show, that was like Dope's first tour.
Yeah, first tour forever, yeah.
And so it was,
It was the Die Mother Effer Die tour.
Yeah, and it was a good one.
Reunion show or whatever.
And the tour was awesome. And you're right, it was your first show. Talk about trial by fire, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's been awesome over the years to be able to extend those kind of opportunities for bands. You know, when I see what that means to a lot of bands, especially when everything runs smooth, you know, I can only imagine, you know, what it must feel like to be able to share the stage with, you know, someone that you
we always looked up to.
Yeah, and
which is awesome about the Voodoo is because, you know, we played the Voodoo a few times.
Right.
Dude, I watched Bullet from a Valentine play that same stage.
Right.
Okay? That's awesome to me.
No, and see, I'm glad you say that because when I talk about geeking out, I remember when I was a kid and I would come down from my small town to see a show at Kemper Arena. Mm-hmm. Before the show even started, no matter who I was waiting for, I would have these thoughts in my head of like, man, I can't believe I'm in the same room that Ozzy Osbourne's been in.
Right.
Or, you know.
Yeah, somebody that you looked up to was
right.
there. Yeah.
You know, a different era, but like just geeking out like that, you know, like Ozzy wasn't playing that night. I was waiting to see another band, but just the thoughts of like, just think, Corey, of all the amazing musicians that have like breathed the same air in this room. Just stupid stuff. I don't know if kids, and everyone's a kid to me, or anyone that's younger, do they geek out like that over music still, Jeremy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Still?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad to hear that. I've told this story a million times. My 13-year-old boy just recently discovered music, discovered girls, and it kind of goes hand in hand. I got him a guitar years ago, right? And it would just sit there collecting dust. Mm-hmm. It was my guitar. 76 Fender Strat, just sweet guitar.
That's a pretty sweet guitar.
Just sat there, just sat there and collected dust. And every now and then I'd be like, "You ever gonna learn how to play that?" He'd be like, "Nah, I don't want to." I'm like, "All right, fine. I'm not gonna push you, man." Then he started discovering music, and I remember having to talk with him and telling him, "You know, if you learn how to play that guitar, the girls are gonna like be all over you." And he's like, "Yeah, I don't like girls." A year later. Now he likes music. Now he's digging girls. He's talking to girls on the phone at night. Me and his mother could hear him in his bedroom on the phone talking to girls. But then all of a sudden...
You going to be that dad that makes him keep his door open, though?
Absolutely not. I don't know. But
my dad was that guy.
I don't want to know what he's doing in there.
Same.
Yeah,
So one night we're laying there, and I hear him in there talking on the phone to his girl. Now all of a sudden I hear the sound of an amplifier coming on. Now, he doesn't know how to play. Now I hear the sound of, you know, when you plug your guitar into an amp. Mm-hmm. And he starts making noise with it. And we're like, what the hell? And he's talking to his girl. And we hear him say, "Yeah, I'm just practicing my guitar." And I'm like, he figured it out. He figured it out. He realized the power of that guitar. He started taking lessons. Now he's the proud owner of not only that 76 Fender Strat, but a Les Paul.
God, I got to see what that guitar looks like.
Yeah, he's like, so he knows good guitars. He realizes the power of guitar, and he just loves music. Not that long ago, I'm giving him a ride to school, and he's got War Pigs. It's like 7 a.m.
Dude, I'm looking at the comments on this. They said Moray kills many big bands. Hella agree.
Yeah, they do. And Adam Lichtenhauer's new band, Jackson County 5, is premiering this Saturday night here at Aftershock. And on that bill is Billy Alexander's band, Earth Cult. So it's like a family affair. But here it is, 7 a.m., taking my boy to school. Getting old because love War Pigs, love Sabbath. But 7 a.m., he's got it cranked up to 9, blasting it. And I'm like, that's all right. Let him get amped up for school, you know. I can roll with this. And then he turns it down. And he's like, "Hey, Dad." He's like, "Did you know that Ozzy Osbourne was in Black Sabbath?" I know. Everyone in the studio is getting that duh look on their face. But as a father, I didn't want to belittle him.
He's a young guy.
I just said, "Yeah, I did, man. Isn't that awesome, dude?" I'm like, I go later on. I go, when you get further into the Sabbath catalog, you're going to discover the guy that took Ozzy's place named Ronnie James Dio. And, you know, that's all I had to. And now that's immediately he went, figured out who Ronnie James Dio was. But anyway, that's the power
Legends,
of
man.
music. And that's why we're all here together. That's what brings us together is the power of music. Even this girl sitting behind me, Miss C, how I know her was before I was a promoter, she was a promoter. And I would beg her to get shows for the band that I was working with. And that's kind of how I got kind of started in this. Miss C, this is what everybody called her. And here it is, fast forward. And I've made so many friends, and the people in the chat room and the people that come out to the shows, that's our common bond, man, is music. And as a father and my son discovering that, that's awesome. So,
since there's no rules, figured I would jump into it. Couldn't find a really good segment to jump into.
Right on. Come on.
I know that, of course, Ozzy's also in Black Sabbath. But
This is Joe Deucer.
Didn't Zach
Joe
Wild, the
Deucer.
guitarist for that band, go off and create his own band as well?
Yes, he did. Black Label Society.
That's what.
Yeah.
I like a couple. Of
They're pretty lit
songs
too,
that-
man.
that they got. I mean, I think those are some.
And that's Joe
really
Deucer.
good
Now,
songs to
keep
play.
in mind.
That dude's
again,
like one of the best guitar players of all time.
how old are you, Joseph?
I'm 19.
19. So,
19?
although
Old enough.
although Zach Wild leaving Ozzy and starting Black Label Society is kind of one of those like, hey Dad, did you know Ozzy was in Sabbath kind of moments.
Right.
But what's cool about it is that the fact is that he's 19. He wasn't. These kids weren't there when it was all happening, and so that's what I love about hearing these younger kids. Not just listening and discovering the music that's relevant and hot right now, but going back and trying and finding the godfathers, if you will, and the people that pay.
Your big four.
Yeah. Big four, and so Jake, tell me about that show again.
Which one?
The live show, the Mechanized show. What's the date again?
The date is May 23rd. We got our homies in Dreams Apparel, Into Existence, Burn the Gates, and Gravelord on that. It's going to be really good.
What's the cover charge?
Cover charge $10. It's going to be $10 advance and $10 a door. I ain't going to be a stickler like that. It's going to be a good time. The show starts at 7, doors at 6. Show up early, get drunk, and have fun with everybody.
Boy, that's going to be, it's going to be a rager.
You know what I do, Corey, man? Like,
What?
sometimes, like when I'm sitting at home and after I get done with band practice, I'm like, what if I never met you?
Me?
Yeah, wouldn't that be nuts? Like I just don't know what I would be doing if I didn't do music, you know what I mean? As a hobby.
Not yet.
We got to go to break at 8.
We're going to go to break at 8. Now, if you hadn't met me, you might, have a job in corporate woods, wearing a tie,
Playing golf.
playing golf on the weekends.
Oh, God.
Are you?
Competitive fishing?
I hope I haven't been a bad influence.
No. This has been awesome.
No,
My wife really hates it.
I thought you were going to
Hates
say
it.
me. I thought you were going to
No,
say
not you. But
Met your
she
wife.
hates the fact that I'm in a band because it does take up a lot of my time. But dude, we kill it,
Hey,
and
Jake.
I'll never not do it.
And you know what? Going back to where rock and roll takes us, you know how many people in this chat room would be like, we know exactly. We can go to break whenever I want. This is my radio show, and there's no I am the boss. So I know.
I was just going
No,
off of...
Frank's
We can-
not
we can
here.
take
He's
a
got to
break.
follow the rules.
Frank's not here.
man.
I'll go take a piss.
Okay, but what I was gonna say is, so many times, so many musicians would tell you, would relate that those are the sacrifices. It's not just the money you pour into your band and the
For sure.
time that you pour into your band, but
And that's what I always
what
told
it
her,
takes away. What it
when
takes
she
away.
met me, I was always doing music.
Right.
No matter, like, when I first moved here, I was doing music. And I just, she's not like the Grinch or anything, man, but, she, you can just tell she's not a big fan of it, but I think what she hates is that I go out and I party.
Party. And you're around women, and it's a lifestyle. But
Yeah.
I guarantee you,
And we got a daughter at home, and she can't be here every time.
those are the sacrifices that people don't understand that, like, serious musicians make. It's just not the money and the passion and the time that you pour into your band, but it's also the time that you take away from your wife and your kids. And you'd be surprised how many people can say, my career in music ended my marriage. You know, I had to become a weekend dad because music destroyed, you know, my marriage. Unfortunately, that's a very, very, very familiar and a very common story. And if you're a musician, and these stories of dancing with the devil and sacrificing time with your family doesn't make sense, and you don't get that, well then chances are you're just not doing it right. With that, let's go to break.
We're going to break. I'm going to go take a piss.
Must been 12 days picking up my brain, and I don't feel like I found a way. You used to grind your teeth and bite your nails to the bone. Ignored the fact that you were fire. The truth is I am stone, but you never had anybody to make you feel at home. Countless sleepless nights waiting by the phone. If your heart shatters, let me make it whole.
sex with you.
And why not?
Because I'm in love with Monica.
You're what?
Love her. That's right. I love her. I love her.
You open your heart up when I thought that I was certain that none of the things I did ever mattered, but now I'm open that this could be the best thing for either one of us to have. I know we're fine. I know we're fine. I know we're fine. Open your heart up when I thought that I was certain that none of the things I did ever mattered, but now I'm open that this could be the best thing for either one of us to have. I know we're fine. I know we're fine. I know we're fine.
It's OVER overtime. I see you heading for the end zone. Boy, your cover's so blown. Stepping out of bounds, but she's no me. I've got every good reason to ruin your season. Think you can do reason, but I think you'll never be. Ooh, I'm on to you. Ooh, what they said is true. Like the board, 'cause I've been keeping score. I gave you every shot and you dropped the ball. You're on your knees, then you don't call. You up your defensive line. But if love is just a player's game to keep you entertained, then you can set the clock to never mind. It's OVER overtime. It don't take an instant replay to see that you're so fake. Got you down in last place, baby. Just wait till you want my touch back, 'cause you ain't ever been sacked by the one who got away. Ooh, I'm on to you. Ooh, what they said is true. Like the board, 'cause I've been keeping score. I gave you every shot and you dropped the ball. You're on your knees, then you don't call. You up your defensive line. But if love is just a player's game to keep you entertained, then you can set the clock to never mind. It's OVER overtime. The clock is ticking, it's on the line. It's OVER overtime. The clock is ticking, the game is mine. It's OVER overtime. The clock is ticking, it's on the line. It's OVER overtime. The clock is ticking, the game is mine. It's OVER overtime. I gave you every shot and you dropped the ball. You're on your knees, then you don't call. You up your defensive line. But if love is just a player's game to keep you entertained, then you can't set the clock to never mind. It's OVER overtime.
We're off mute. Here we are. Are the cameras up and going? I think we are live, back on the air. Cassie Joy, local girl, gone good, gone big time. You remember her? She was on The Voice, and she's found success. Got to talk to her a little bit not that long ago while she was in town, and she just got a brand new tour bus, man. And I was just like, whoa, So she's out doing her thing. Good for her. Anyway, we're back. Just wrapped up talking to Jake. Jake's going to jump back on the mic here in just a little bit, and we're going to premiere the new single. So you got to stick around for that because it kills, and give you a taste of what he's been doing. If you haven't heard it, I know he gave everybody a little bit of a sneak peek, but you're going to be able to hear it here in hi-fi definition, quadraphonic sound on Slam Radio. So stick around for that. Really quick, just want to touch base on some things going on here in Kansas City. And I will, if any of you guys know a couple shows that you want to probably remind me to talk about, I'm going to talk about a few of my shows, but I don't necessarily want to be that guy that doesn't give a shout out to some other stuff going on around town. But when you do this for a living, that's what's in my brain right now. I just logged out of chat, so hopefully we're still live here. I know I just somehow got logged out of the chat room, so hopefully that doesn't mean we're not live anymore, but we will find out.
Oh, we are.
Okay, awesome. Joe Deucer says that we are, but I will log back into here. Hey, Miss C, could you log back into the chat while I continue to talk, and I will give you the information. It's right here, and don't forget the exclamation point after on the password at the end. So really quick, talking about some stuff. You heard about Jake's big return with Mechanized. That show is going to be incredible. Just one of the really good shows coming up here in the spring. Tomorrow night at the Voodoo Lounge, Strat Geezer presents March Madness, and it's going to be one of those shows that I was talking about earlier. It's going to be a family affair, so definitely get down there. It's only a $10 ticket, man. 5 bands at the Voodoo, $10. You can pick up a ticket from one of the local bands, so don't hesitate to hit them up. You ask who's playing. Well, it's a great bill. Unwritten Rules is headlining that night, tomorrow night, debuting their new lead singer. Also, Mad Libby is on the bill. Imaginary Friends, Impart, and The Wannabes. The Wannabes is an all-star lineup cover band featuring Jillian Risco, Taylor Mead, Carlos Garcia, and the guy that I am going to forget. And so that, shame on me. I hate when I forget someone's name. But it's going to be a great one. And so the Wannabes, what's going to happen tomorrow night is they're going to take the stage at 7. They're going to do a long set to warm everybody up, get everybody ready to party. And like I said, they're a cover band. They're going to be doing some of your favorite rock and pop songs from the 90s and some modern stuff. It's going to be a good time. Get out there. It's always a good time, and it's one of those nights that it drags everybody out. So you're going to see some good music, see and hear some good music, and you're going to run into a lot of people that you probably haven't seen in a while. It's kind of how those shows play out. And then on Sunday, here at Aftershock, we have a throwback band to the 80s, probably a band that none of these guys here have heard of. London Choir Boys. Anyone as old as me, which is old as dirt, remember the London Choir Boys, a great band that, they weren't necessarily, they kind of came out when hair metal was kind of dying. I remember they came out about the same time as the Black Crowes, and that's kind of the vein that they are. They're that kind of old school 70s kind of influenced rock. The lead singer sounds a lot like Rod Stewart, So if you haven't heard of them, check them out. Most of you older cats my age know exactly who they are, and that's Sunday. Get down. Greg Tott's band we all know Greg Tott. He's been in the local music scene forever. His band is playing. Is just a great lineup. I don't prepare for these segments and write stuff down, and so it's not until I'm in the middle of forgetting something and forgetting people's names that I'm like,
natural. When
are you ever going to prepare, you slacker? But maybe that's why you love me, is because I'm far from perfect. I'm the slacker that everybody loves. Also, Monday, While She Sleeps with He Is Legend. Local bands, The Funeral Singer, and Starting an Earthquake. And that's going to be a good one. That's all ages, and you can still there's still a few discount tickets left for that one. It's going to be good. And then a reminder, in a couple weeks, a big metal show coming through Aftershock with Carnifex, Three Teeth, The Browning, Timothy Scold, his band, just called Scold. Some of you know him if you're into industrial music. He played with everyone from Manson to just you name it. So most of you industrial kids know exactly who Scold is. And then Fear My Name, great local band. It's going to be a good one. And you can get tickets for that at stubwire.com or hit up Fear My Name. They'll sell you a ticket, probably even save you a few bucks. So that's me pimping some of my stuff. But I want to be a fair kind of guy. Man, there's just been so many shows that have been announced. I can't even keep track of them. But, I told everybody, and probably around Christmas time, that 2020 was going to be a banger for local music and for just touring acts. And if you're paying attention, you've seen everyone from Rage Against the Machines coming to Jeremy. Who else is coming to town?
Oh man, so many bands. I know we have Five Finger Death Punch coming
Your favorite
through.
band?
Oh, yeah, totally.
The
my
opener
favorite
is
band.
dope.
Oh my god, the openers are amazing.
The opening lineup is insane.
We have Papa Roach, I Prevail, and Ice Nine Kills. I Prevail probably released the best album of 2019, in my personal opinion. Jake is giving me the side eye over there.
That's pretty bold.
Yeah.
What else?
I think Chelsea Grin did, but that's just me.
A little bit of shameless self-promotion from me.
Definitely.
A lot of people don't know, but I am actually a professional wrestling referee.
I knew that.
Yeah,
Professional
Corey
wrestling,
knew
your
that.
ass.
But next Friday, I don't. Yeah, there we go. March 13th, we have KCXW Unleashed.
Where's that at?
At the Ararat Shriners Event Center over off 435 and Eastwood Traffic Way. It's kind of on the cusp of Kansas City and Raytown.
Word.
But
They pretty lit.
Oh yeah.
Love wrestling.
It's like $15
yeah.
a head to get in.
$15?
Yeah, only $15. Show starts at 7. We got a little pre-show going on at 6:30. A couple matches before.
How long do they usually last?
You'll be getting out of there around 9:30 or 10.
When they start?
7.
I've
7
been-
is the
Oh,
main
dope.
card. Yeah.
Now,
So you've been to one?
I've been to several. I when they first started off, Stratgazer was a sponsor. I donated money to help them get the company launched.
Right.
So they would fly a banner, and then when I showed up with Julian, we were ringside. And so I remember you guys had brought some wrestler in from St. Louis. No, it was some professional wrestler that you guys had paid big bucks to come and wrestle, and I had my headband on, and Julian was with me. And
Was it Angel Medina?
it was
Yeah.
Angel Medina, that
Yeah.
punk. Angel Medina, this is Stratgazer from Kansas City. You ever go punk on me again, and you call me Axl Rose from the ring
Oh my god.
when my son is there?
Kind of look like that motherfucker.
I'm telling you, Angel Medina, you're gonna find out what the figure 4 really feels like. Because I'm gonna lay one on. How is that good? Was that some good smack talking, Jeremy?
I love it.
You got a little
That's
bit
good.
of practice.
Dude, why don't you get one of those little singlets? Go up there and just wrestle some.
Corey in a singlet? Are you crazy, bro?
I think
I would rock it.
he would rock the
I think.
heck
Okay.
out of it.
Here's what I
It's
want.
so hard
2 to
not
1.
to
2
cuss.
to 1.
I would love to see you guys do incorporate some local music into that.
Dude, so we actually have another promotion in town, not Journey Pro, Royal Alliance Wrestling. It's another one I work for, but they only run maybe 3-4 times a year.
Right.
They're just a new promotion starting to get up. But I actually was thinking about that because NXT actually did some stuff with I think it was Download Festival. Down in Australia, and they were running matches alongside of bands, and I think it would be really cool to throw a couple bands on a wrestling bill. And
What I was thinking of is even better is using local music as intro music to some of these wrestlers.
that as well.
And let's
So does
even
the
take it a
wrestlers pick their walkout music?
Yeah, they can as long as they have the rights to it.
or even
Yeah.
cooler, let's do some tag team grudge matches. Let's pair up Jake and Mike Yeager as a tag team and put them against maybe a couple of the guys from Zion or something.
You know we would just completely wreck them, right?
Yeah.
I was just talking to Mike Yeager last night. We were talking about our MMA careers when we were fighting and training, fighting stuff, and we would do some damage on those dudes, which I really want to do.
I gotta tell you,
Well, no,
my son went through my son went through a wrestling phase, and once that we were there at Sprint Center, and he loved John Cena. There was an actor that was playing John Cena's father, sitting ringside, and a bad guy came out.
That's actually John Cena's dad.
Yeah, but a bad guy came out and like yanked him over the gate and started beating the crap out of him. And my son started bawling and looked at me. He's like, "Do something, Dad!" And I'm like,
"What do you want me to do?"
But at this point, I hadn't told him it was kind of, staged, and I was torn. My son is crying. Do something, Dad. Is this the time to tell him that this is not real? Hell no! I didn't ruin it for the boy.
I don't know. Like, you got to keep the kayfabe up to a certain point. And then it's like, if they still believe it, then, that's on them, man.
Yeah, well, that was one of his phases.
You know what's crazy about talking about wrestling, man? I was at that wrestling at the Kemper Arena when Owen Hart died.
Oh, you were there?
I was there.
You were telling me about that the other day, yeah.
Yeah, I was there. Me and my dad, my cousin Jesse, and his dad were there. And I remember him, he jumped from the ceiling.
Right, he fell
with
from
that bungee cord thing and
malfunctioned.
Hit the rope or whatever, and then fell into the ring and blood came out of his mouth.
He hit the turnbuckle.
Did everybody?
Something like that, yeah. And
in that moment, did people think it was fake? Part of the show.
It was a part of the show, and everybody was cheering for it and all this. Just dead.
And he's dead.
And at the end of the show. At the very end of it, at the Kemper Arena, they said that he died at the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, I was there. I saw the whole thing. It was
insane. Yeah,
I was only 6.
Yeah, he pulled the safety way too soon and ended up doing it was 70 feet.
Yeah, he hit hard.
That's too bad, man. I remember when that happened, but. Yeah, Jeremy, you've been involved with 2 different wrestling outfits. We'll lift it back up, and that's cool that that's taken off for you. Okay. I love any type of homegrown grassroots type of stuff that is finding success. So, anyway, a lot of stuff I'm hearing, and I've been seeing on the internet that some tours are canceling because of the coronavirus. That. Knotfest, we were just talking about it. That Knotfest Japan is being canceled.
Probably, yeah.
And
you all should watch the Long Beach Griffey.
What's
who he is?
No.
It's like a comedy guy on YouTube. Watch the coronavirus one. I bet you guys will.
Is it hilarious?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta, I'm holding out, to see where this is going because I don't want to be that butthole that jumps on and starts telling and then a week later I've got it and I'm dead,
It's not like that though, man.
But I don't think it is,
It's a scare tactic, man.
Remember the weather thing, El Nino, a few years ago, and then you remember bird swine. It's so we'll see. I mean, I hope not. I hope that, but it's if it was nothing more than a tactic to scare people, it's working.
Oh, it's like the Ebola thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's working. It's getting people
scared. Remember how Ebola was supposed to take over and all this, even though there's more cases of coronavirus, but it's nothing more than a simple flu, man.
It's just a difference. I don't know.
It's government wanting to make money, dude.
Well,
and take these vaccines and make an assload of money on it. Not to get back into politics.
I'm not sure how good you guys are with memes, but haven't you heard the phrase, drink a Corona to get rid of a Corona?
That's awesome.
Right. I've seen all kinds of memes, but
I love memes.
Oh boy, guys,
that's what makes me wake up in the morning.
Well, I mean, isn't Corona? I heard that the cure for it was alcohol. So I mean, the next thing that came up was drinking.
Then I'm definitely not gonna get it.
Right. I feel you. What other shows got you? Any tours that aren't even stopping here that excite you, Jeremy, or just any other shows that are stopping here that got you?
So Saturday night, it's already sold out now, but Fit for a King is hitting Springfield, and I'm be heading down to that one.
Are you heading that one?
Oh yeah,
that will be good. What excites me is my buddies with Mammoth Entertainment if you haven't noticed, and I know a lot of people don't care, they don't look at show flyers and give a crap at who the promoter is. But my buddies with Mammoth are doing a lot of shows now down at the Grinders, out back there. One of my favorite places to go see a show, and especially an outdoor show. And forever, it's been Pipeline, and I don't have anything to say bad about anybody, but I've always kind of thought that the summer calendars there always lacked. I always kind of thought, man, like, for such a great venue, there should be more awesome shows here.
Yeah, I've noticed, like, within the past, 5 years or so, it's been a lot more, pop, reggae-oriented, not really, our genre is coming in there,
And, well, now, if you look at some of the stuff that Mammoth is putting there, it's going to be, it's going to be a great summer there, one of my favorite places, I love Aftershock, but when I go out to a show, especially an outdoor show, I love Grinders. It's a great place, man, and I just love that it's downtown and it's outdoors. And speaking of outdoors, I love our patio area here at.
Got a pretty cool bar out
Aftershock.
there too. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's an awesome add-on.
It's like tiki themed.
It's just such an awesome add-on to this place.
Someone said the other day, they're like, man, you guys need to figure out your patio area. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, well, you call it the Outback, which is like an Australian theme, but then you got a tiki bar that back there. You can't have a tiki bar in an Australian Outback themed patio. And I'm like, you know what? We can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
Hell, we'll do whatever we want, and it's really nice. We've done some awesome metal shows out there, and then every Thursday night we, when the weather's warm, we do this acoustic night, and again, that's something that's really cool.
What's funny, Corey, is that we still use that old PA that you guys had here.
Yeah, that PA. So many cool bands have played on that PA.
We still have it and we still use it.
It's a
we
beast.
Had the PA from the second stage here.
Yeah, their practice.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
From when I
space.
first started here.
Yeah,
number one, that PA was originally the main stage PA.
Yeah, we have it in our practice space and we still use it to this day.
They have a PA that is so huge and so
it's
powerful
so loud.
that it was meant to put it was for shows here back in the day, and they now have it in their basement.
We bought it
as their practice PA.
$1,700.
Your neighbors
Such a good deal.
Your neighbors
With
hate
all the
you.
cooling fans and all the mix board, everything, $700.
Neighbors hate you, man. I'm serious.
Dude, no, we've had a couple of complaints with that.
I imagine, man.
Yeah, especially with the when he does the bass drops, because a lot of our songs have the booms, Right when that happens, glass starts shaking in their houses. It becomes a problem.
Oh, Lord, that's funny. So, one of the things we're gearing up for, to let you kind of know, Slam Radio is our annual yearly trip to Rocklahoma. I don't think I'll be going this year because I'm going to be hanging back for your show. And
Good. It's going to be a good show.
But it just kills me. I can't go. My years of going down and spending 4 days camping and interviewing bands and hanging out backstage and doing things that I shouldn't be and waking up in outhouses and those days, I just don't have them in me anymore. But it's really awesome that Slam Radio every year gets invited down there and gets to mingle and interview all of the big acts, and so Slam Radio is getting ready to do that.
You're not doing that this year?
No, we are doing that this year. I won't be making the trip. So, we take a photographer, and then we take send a couple people that want to interview the bands, and things like that, and it works out great. Now I know Frank's going to jump in here because Frank just bought a camper, and strictly
for Rocklahoma,
to go to Rocklahoma, because normally
that's awesome.
We would sleep in our cars, sitting upright, and one year they found that I went MIA and they found me I'd passed. I don't know how I ended up there, but they found me at noon in a porta potty, 103 degrees out in there, and
how'd you not die?
I don't know. I guess I was living off my extra body weight here, but
just sweating.
Ketosis.
Yeah. I just remember waking up and they were like, "What the hell?" And I was sweating, and I'm like, I thought they'd put me in there as a joke, and they're like, man, we've been looking for you for hours, and
You're just in there passed
I
out?
was just in there passed out,
Oh, man. What year was this?
Oh, it was like three years ago.
Oh, it wasn't even that long ago.
It wasn't even that long ago.
Was you hammered or?
I was a lot of things. Sober wasn't one of them,
Right. Yeah.
But if you've gone to Rocklahoma, you know what that's all about. Don't mention your Tylenol.
What's that?
In parentheses. It's Frank. Don't mention your Tylenol.
Tylenol.
I ain't like that anymore, Frank. You know that.
I call bullshit.
Oh, well.
Me and Corey's had some fun.
We old habits die hard sometimes.
Absolutely.
But speaking of habits, I have a habit of talking too much and rambling on. So
I don't know. This has been a great conversation.
it has been. Jenny Jenkins just jumped into the room. She does a
Yeah,
radio
she just.
show.
Are you on my live stream at all?
What happens at Rocklahoma stays in Rocklahoma.
Ah.
Hey, that's right. Hey, Jenny, you want to go to Rocklahoma?
Dude, look at you, man. Just so slick.
Right.
Corey, aren't you married?
I don't think anybody knew that. No, everyone knows that. Actually, I am. I am married. You were at my wedding.
Yeah, I was at your wedding.
It was a good wedding, wasn't it?
It was fun.
Yeah, I feel like a POS. I don't know why I couldn't make it.
You were invited.
I know.
You blew me off, man.
Nah, I didn't blow you off.
It was like a really badass wedding. It was like, have you seen the November Rain video for Guns N' Roses?
No.
Yeah, it wasn't like that.
Yeah,
at
I
all.
remember telling Steph, I was like, damn it, we missed that because we had to do something. I can't remember. What was the date of it?
You motherfucker. You're setting me up, aren't you, you bitch?
I just did something dirty
I'm
to you,
joking.
Corey.
It was October this year.
Yeah, you're getting close.
So
Do you need me to look it up for
I
you?
just did that to Corey.
it was October 3rd. 6th. No, 3rd. Maybe it was the 6th.
Damn it. I shouldn't even
You have a
fucking ask
calendar
that.
on your computer.
I know. Oh, well. No, it was a good wedding, and but anyway, we don't talk about me. Let's talk. We're talking about Rocklahoma. We're talking about also Jenny Jenkins. I wanted to give her a shout out because she does a radio show similar to what we do here. Rock Rage Radio, right? Was that what Jenny does?
Yeah.
Rock Rage
Yep.
Radio.
Rock
Yeah,
Rage.
Yeah. So.
I don't know. Sorry, Jenny.
That's the cool thing. I've been having fun over these years with Frank doing the Slam Radio and the project Backstage, and it always borders professionalism to complete chaos, if you will, and but that's fun. That's why we like doing this. And again, folks, if you're listening in, we need your music. We got a computer full of music, but most of it is 3 to 4 years old. So again, whether you're a musician, a musician, tell your favorite bands to get their music over to us. I know that here in the near future, as we iron all the kinks out as we go along, outside of these live shows, there'll be a live stream that you can tune in that will be 24/7, that you can hear good local music, regional music, and we'll also be getting the apps back up, the Apple app and the Android app back up. Just got to do things in phases, we try to do this on a shoestring budget, and so sometimes we just can't do everything all at once, but we were determined. Frank is a lot like myself, and that we've been around the local music scene for years, and we've seen people come and go, and we just can't bring ourselves to leave. And we were like, we needed to do Slam and get Slam launched again. And who knows, maybe in the next few years when we decide to hang it up, we'll just pass the Slam radio on to someone younger and someone that has a little bit more, some more time on their hands than say what me and Frank do. But what are you coming out? What do you got going on for tomorrow night, Jeremy?
I'm working till 8.
Where at?
DoorDash.
DoorDash. There you go. Give this guy a raise. He just gave you a shameless plug.
I thought you told me that DoorDash sucks, man.
It does sometimes.
Damn, Jake's like is really like.
Yeah, you're like calling everybody out.
Calling everybody
you
out.
You just told me not to do that.
Jake just got fired. The only guy that ever got fired by DoorDash, Jeremy Hilton.
I don't think you get fired by DoorDash.
I don't think you can either.
No,
Did they approve me for Uber and I have a DUI?
Too.
I remember you doing that.
Yeah,
I
like,
actually
I got approved for Uber with a DUI.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. They said you're approved.
Now, Jake, what are you doing Friday?
Tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing. Come out to the Voodoo. I know that Christina's coming out.
Who's all playing again?
Well, I know you're a metalhead, but
No,
you would still have a good time.
That's not true. I listen to everything.
But Unwritten Rules, Mad Libby, Imaginary Friends, Impart, and the Wannabes, which, Taylor Mead. You know Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he drums for the Wannabes.
He calls me Kyle.
He calls you Kyle?
I have a monster tattoo.
Oh, right on. Well, he's a good guy. He doesn't mean any harm.
I have a monster tattoo.
Also,
You seen this?
Why? No, I haven't. Actually.
Also, Frank wanted me to give a shout out and make sure that we let you know that Slam and Project Backstage are still looking for writers, game streamers, looking for all of them. One of the things that we do in addition to Project Slam is Project Gaming, and it's for gamers. You like gaming? Then Project Gaming is for you. Right before I started the show tonight, the group of kids that do a gaming show was in here using the studio, doing their thing. And although I'm not much of a gamer, I completely love and respect what they're doing, and I know that they're having a great time with it. And so maybe you're tuning in, listening to us tonight. You're not much of a gamer. We lost audio. Jenny says.
It looks fine to me.
Yeah, it just must be the platform that you're listening on, because I think everybody else. Are we at the top of the hour?
No, it's 8:40, so I mean.
Yeah, well, everybody else. Hey, Frank, mic check here. Yeah, we're gonna figure out. I think right now, look, I think we're broadcasting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 different platforms all at once, and we're figuring out some of them are better than the others, and so the ones that end up causing us grief, we're probably going to end up dropping. Anyhow. So I was just telling everyone, Jenny, that we broadcast on 8 different platforms, and some of them are better than others, and we're probably going to weed some of those out just because I know that, unfortunately, Facebook isn't very good to us, and it kind of sucks. And I think YouTube does well. I know that Twitch does well. So anyway, give us time, and over the course of time, we'll figure out and tweak a few things here and there to make everything top notch. But we appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. We're going to go to break, but let me tell you, really quick, I want to build this. I got to first of all tell Jake. Jake, I'm here. Jake has been the kind of guy since I met him that extends the utmost respect to me, and I love that about him. I understand how respect works. You give it, and you got to give it to.
You've always done good to me, man.
To receive it, and I think that me and Jake have always had that kind of relationship. And although his band has ventured off and spread their love throughout Kansas City through different venues, he's always been very cool and very respectful to Strat Geezer and Aftershock, and I want to thank you for always bringing your big shows to Aftershock, and then coming here and announcing.
And here's the thing, man. I think this year, next year, I want to play more here, man, because we didn't play a lot here last year.
Right, I remember it was.
Yeah, we did. It was a slow year for us here, man.
Well,
And I think this, from continuing on, man, we've always had our best shows here.
I think so. I think
We
so.
play other venues here in the city, man.
Right.
But it's always like when we're on that stage, that's home.
Well, it's
Because that's where we started. You know what I mean?
Well, this is your Arrowhead. You know what I mean?
This is where we want to play.
Right.
I love Aftershock, even though that's where I got my DUI.
Got your DUI.
Got my DUI.
Well, and that's what I'm talking about, man. You always bring you always bring your big shows, your CD releases here, and then for you to bring and debut to announce that you're back and to announce the big show here and bring us your single, that means a lot. And so, Jake, thank you.
Absolutely, man.
And really quick,
You're my boy.
One more shout out.
You're my boy, Blue.
I am your boy, and the date is April. May, sorry.
May 23rd.
May 23rd. And
we got Burn the Gates, Grave Lord, Dreams of Peril, and Into Existence.
Cool. We're gonna
cover charge is $10. Get there early. Get drunk with us. Doors at 6.
Set this new single up. What's it called?
This next song is called Vibe Protector. It's about the guy that from Denver, Colorado, that killed his wife and kids. It's a pretty dark song, but this song is called Vibe Protector by Mechanized.
We'll be back to close out the show.
Something inside of him, you can never
You are cold, critical, analytical. That's why I like you. I am bold, cynical, and so difficult. That's why I fight you. I'm letting you in, crawl under my sheets. Well, baby, you win. For a minute, the more I'm a bitch, the more you can't quit, the more you like it. Yeah, did it. Top shelf, out of reach. We play capture and release. Ooh, and your top shelf shit keep me on my feet. We play capture and release. Ooh. I need it so bad with your skin so hot. How can you act cold? Oh, you better believe it. I'll use you like that. So use me like that. Use me like that. Top shelf, out of reach. We play capture and release.
Welcome back. It's Thursday night, Slam Radio, broadcasting live from Marion, Kansas, from the bowels of Aftershock live music venue. You like that? Does that sound cool?
The bowels.
The bowels.
I like it.
We got some requests for some restraint and some thrust right when we're ready to come back live. So maybe as we go out, we'll crank up some thrust. Speaking of thrust, I seen where people on Facebook are demanding a thrust show. I don't know if that's how it works, but I would like to see a thrust show happen. Rumor has it, and I know, again, I'm going to lose these kids here when I say this. They're going to be saying who. But little birdie told me that just maybe there might be a Load Point Pull show announced very, very soon. These guys are looking at me like, huh? Well, all right. Exactly. Christina, who's my age, just said, all right. She knows who they are. Again, they were one of these bands, and they've been around. And, you know, a couple of the guys, you know, are in a cover band, and some of them, like, for years have worked at Big Dudes, talking about, like, Doug Kenworthy. He's been a staple in the Kansas City music scene. That's the thing. Like I was telling you guys earlier, telling you, Jake, you're a young guy. Like, you're going to be doing this for a long time. You know,
right.
When you hear me talking about these old cats that are my age that can't help themselves, but to every now and then you know, I guarantee you're thinking right now, there's no way I'm going to be doing a mechanized show when I'm 50 years old.
Hell no.
I bet you will, man. I hope
Dude,
you
my
are.
band is already 37, 38 years old.
Oh, are they? So you only got 2 more years. I'm just saying. It doesn't.
They are old as hell.
That itch never goes away, and you always
You not
just
see
gotta
how gray
scratch
they
it.
are? They don't even have the perfect hair like you.
Perfect hair. Today I didn't even do anything with it. This is what happens when
You're
I
not
just
even
get out of
gray
bed.
though.
You know what? I could be gray underneath all this color, you know.
Oh, you color it.
I color it, and I highlight it, and I
Chris
straighten
and
it.
Bobby are gray.
Yeah.
You ever seen that barbecue guy that plays guitar in my band?
Yep.
Gray.
Yep.
And Chris, he has like this long hair in the top.
Now he's gray.
Gray. Beard's gray. Looks like Osama bin Laden's beard, but the perfect. It's like that.
Yeah.
That perfect gray in his beard.
It happens.
I'm like, man, you look like Osama, man.
It happens, dude. It happens. We all, you know, but you only feel as old as you're only as old as you feel. And one of the cool things that I like, there are no rules, man. You know, like there are no rules. You just do these days. Do what you want and do what makes you happy, and everybody's cool with that. And that's what I love because remember, I was around when MTV came around, and see, before MTV, you could look like me and be a rock and roll star, you know. And then MTV came around and ruined that. All of a sudden, like
music videos,
you had to have
pictures.
an image. You had to have an image. And now
I hate that about that too,
Yeah.
because like a lot of managers and record labels, they'll like not even mess with you if you don't look the part.
If you don't look the part,
which is ridiculous because I think this is kind of cocky to say and a really big arrogancy thing to say, but I think Bobby, with the way he looks, you know, wears plaid,
right,
and blue jeans,
right,
he'll outshred anybody around here.
Right, but he
will. He will. He's insane.
You know, he is
but
insane.
But there would be nobody that likes his look.
Right. Well, you know what? But you know what I would say about that is if he don't give a F, then that's what makes it cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like when you're like.
So when we went to shoot a music video, I said, "Hey, Bobby, I need you to wear black shoes." This dude comes up with a black button up. I'm like, "Oh, he has to start blue jeans and Skechers."
You're like, dude, come on.
I'm like, I'm talking brown slip-on Skechers.
Oh, right. Like,
okay, like totally the opposite of what I meant.
Yeah, you know, I think I go both ways. Like, I think if you're going for an image and you put the effort in and pull it off, well, good for you, because I like that fact that you're taking that extra effort. But I also think there's something also that's just as cool as being like, screw image, this is who I am and this is what I am. And that's just as cool. Again, it all goes back to, I think, where we're at today is that it don't matter anymore. You know, I think that, you know, what transcends image and everything like that is good music, right?
Absolutely.
Good music transcends.
Let's just say this though, the thing that sucks now, they want skinny dudes wearing V-neck shirts.
Yep.
That's what makes a band now.
Yep.
Black V-necks, black jeans, Converse, maybe some Vans. This kind of hat, that makes you a band.
I think it makes. Are you following him here?
I am.
You do, and
you know what I'm saying, though, don't you?
I mean, like that, like.
Yeah, like that attire.
The part.
You guys look the part.
You gotta look the part.
Laminates to complete it too.
Laminates on the hip.
And my band's so old school, they think blue jeans are still a thing on stage, and I'm like, dude.
Hey, do you know what 501s are?
Nuh-uh.
That's what I'm talking about right there. You know what 501s are?
Converses, right?
No, son.
Totally off.
So, you know, when I was in my garage band in high school, what we always wore up to our, band rehearsals is we always just kind of wore Vans, some ripped jeans, torn up shirt, snapback, a beanie. I mean, that's how we even showed up for a school talent show whenever we played there.
I think whatever floats your boat, but you guys, your homework for next Thursday, figure out what 501s are and come back to me on that. 501s were very important to my generation for a short period of time. So we're going to wrap it up.
Thanks for having me on, man.
I'm glad that Jake stopped by. I'm glad that Jeremy dropped in. Miss C's been holding down the fort and got us drinks and some snacks. And, she'll be hopefully she'll be bringing her paranormal show to the network very soon. Hopefully, the idea is to have that up within the next few weeks. Hopefully by summertime. She better get on it. She better not be slacking on that. So get out to the Voodoo tomorrow. Voodoo Lounge.
Go to the Voodoo tomorrow.
Doors at 6, shows at 7. Get there early, have some crab legs, maybe play some blackjack. But the show starts at 7. It's always a good time. $10. Then the London Choir Boys on Sunday, While She Sleeps on Monday. This is Corey.
This is Jake Burge.
This is Jeremy Hilton.
And we got Joe Deucer.
Joe
Deucer.
And we're out.
I've been sitting around thinking about the good old days. All the good times we had, all the games we played. We didn't know what we had then, and our ignorance makes me laugh. And I'm so glad that we can never go back. To play those songs, make all the young girls cry. But none of those silly girls ever understood why. But later in life, you meet and they're dressed to impress. As a hot mess in a tight red sequin dress.
I'm stuck in this to do